weapons of fallen warriors, his face scarred with one dead eye.
Disney's Brave is full of loud, rambunctious characters. It's set in the Scottish Highlands, after all, but it's Merida's three little brothers who steal the show without ever saying a word. Harris, Hubert, and Hamish are identical triplets who love to cause mischief, especially when there are sweets involved. While they can be a handful, the triplets are so much more than comic relief. Their pranking ways are not only hysterically funny, but end up being crucial in helping Merida get out of trouble. You won't believe what kind of antics these wee devils get up to.
Your father has something to discuss with you.
Here's a question. How do you sneak an 8-foot-tall grizzly bear out of a castle without anyone noticing? With the help of 3 mischievous pranksters, of course. When Merida's mother gets unwittingly transformed into a bear, she turns to her 3 little brothers for help in sneaking out of the castle. In the end, Merida trades a whole year of her dessert in exchange for the triplets' help. Using nothing but a chicken, a stick, and a clay pot, the triplets cast a shadow to create the illusion of a bear. Then they lure the king and his lords away so that Merida can finally escape with her mother. But the icing on the cake? The boys draw the king's mob to the very top of the tower and lock them outside. Worth giving up a year's worth of dessert? We think so. In fact, we're pretty sure that without the triplets and their bag of tricks, Merida would have never made it out of the castle at all. Even after the brothers lock the king and other lords at the top of the tower,
It's locked. Dingwall was the last up.
they still have to get past Maudie the nursemaid, who's already freaking out from seeing a bear in the castle. Once again, though, the triplets come through with an outrageous prank that helps clear the way for Merida's escape. One of the triplets puts the chicken on his head and jumps down the chimney to give Maudie the fright of her life. We can't help but laugh as she runs away screaming. Who knew chickens could be scarier than bears? Don't be fooled though. While they will help their sister out in a pinch, Harris, Hubert, and Hamish are more likely to be the ones causing trouble than fixing it. Most of the time, they simply enjoy causing chaos. We can't complain though, because the result sure is fun to watch. The best example is probably when the other clans arrive to Dunbroch to compete for Merida's hand in marriage.
The presentation
The
of
presentation of the suitors.
At the presentation, all of the lords start squabbling and get into a huge fight. But don't worry, King Fergus is there to calm everyone down. That is, until his sons decide to do something about it. They sneak up through a trapdoor and hit Lord Dingwall on the foot to send everyone brawling again. Mayhem ensues, and the triplets get to sit back and enjoy the show. It's clear from the very first moment that we meet the triplets just how clever and conniving they are, and just how far they'll go for a tasty dessert. The boys have a seemingly endless appetite, so of course they're always cooking up schemes to steal pastries from their nursemaid Maudie. When we first see them, the boys are sneaking around and stealing tarts from right under Maudie's nose. We devils is right. The triplets manage to steal a whole plate of tarts before Maudie even knows what hit her. They escape with the goods by jumping out of the window for an incredible getaway by catapult. Devils? More like daredevils.
Oh, now how do you know you don't like it if you won't try it?
With that kind of energy, it's no wonder they're always hungry. But if you thought that was the last of Maudie's trouble with the triplets, think again. Maudie really can't catch a break when it comes to these 3. Later in the movie, the Highland Games are getting underway, and it's a perfect opportunity for more pranking.
It's time!
This time, though, they sneak down over a tent and steal tarts from above. The boys distract Maudie and take her pastries while she's not looking. Maudie tries her best to deflect them and salvage the desserts, but she's no match for Harris, Hubert, and Hamish. She thinks she has them when she traps them inside of a barrel. But no, she's actually played right into their scheme, and they simply take the barrel and all the tarts with them. Maudie chases after them, struggling to keep up, as they barrel through crowds of people. In the end, the boys' penchant for sweet treats gets them more than anyone could have bargained for. The triplets eat what's left of the enchanted cake and are transformed into identical bear cubs. Cute, right? Well, apparently not for everyone. After Merida is locked away in the tapestry room, Maudie holds the key to her escape, and her brothers just so happen to be there to help. In their bear cub state, it doesn't take much to send Maudie fleeing in terror yet again. They chase her throughout the castle and finally corner her in an empty room. One of the cubs makes a jump for Maudie's shirt, where she's hidden the key. Smash cut, and next thing we know, the boys have the key in paw. We can only imagine what went down. Even as bear cubs, the triplets never seem to lose their mischievous spirit, which is just the thing to get Merida out of trouble.
Get back! That's my mother!
Are you out of your mind, lass?
And like most young boys, the triplets can't help but play with their food. We don't really blame them for not wanting to eat haggis though. Yuck. But Merida, it seems, knows her brothers all too well. When they refuse to eat their haggis, she offers them a gift instead. You guessed it, a plate of delicious tarts. Stolen from the kitchen, no less. Clearly, the boys have rubbed off on Merida. Or maybe they learned it from her. She is their big sister, after all. Either way, they slip under the table one by one to snack away. When the boys are finally dismissed from the room, they run away with pastries stuffed into their shirts, hilariously falling all over each other. But that's not all. While they were hiding, the triplets tied King Fergus's leg to the table without anyone noticing. I think you can see where this is heading. The payoff comes when Merida storms off and the queen looks to her husband to go after and console her. He gets up to leave, and that's when the whole table comes crashing down thanks to the boys' handiwork. This moment is a great way to cut the tension of the serious moment that came before it. The king bringing down the table and all the food with it is the perfect unexpected prank to make us laugh after the heaviness of Merida's disagreement with her mother. Even when they're not in the room, the triplets still manage to make a huge impact. Now that's how you steal a scene. Next up, there's a blink and you'll almost miss it moment, but it shows how funny the brothers are even when they're just in the background. It's dinner time, and King Fergus is sharing the tale of how he lost his leg to the monstrous bear Maudie.
Oh, that's my favourite part.
Maudie has never been seen since.
And he's obviously quite the storyteller. But it might be time for him to find some new stories to tell. You'll notice that while Hubert and Hamish, or is that Harris, are bored out of their wits, the remaining triplet is having a blast by mimicking the king's every word and action. They've clearly heard this story many, many times before. With these three around, dinner time would never be boring. They also find other ways to make their own fun around the castle. We'd probably resort to pranking too if we didn't have movies like this one to pass the time with. But one poor guard falls asleep on the job and gets pranked by the triplets for his trouble. The brothers use an axe to snip off half his mustache, and they're gone just as quickly as they appeared. We definitely wouldn't want to be caught sleeping with these three around. Finally, near the end of the movie, once all is said and done, it's time for the other clans to say goodbye and sail home. But not before a certain trio of tricksters is able to stow away on one of the ships. First, the triplets can be seen tearing through the docks using shields like skateboards. Then, as the people of Dunbroch wave goodbye to the visiting lords, King Fergus is shocked to see his sons waving back to him from the top of a mast. So much for smooth sailing. How the boys managed to get up there is beyond us, but we couldn't help but laugh as the king begrudgingly goes after them on a rowboat. Brave clearly wouldn't be the same without the Highland hijinks these three get up to. Which of these hilarious pranks did you enjoy the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos on all things Disney. Thanks for watching!